We on the Council believe that there is much more to life than politics, and that's why we are very committed to supporting events such as this and other opportunities for people to reflect on the greater meaning of our life together as a community, as a city and as a nation. And it's because of that kind of commitment that I'm proud to welcome the Lord Provost of Edinburgh, Councillor Leslie Hines, to the stage to introduce His Holiness. Councillor Hines.
I'm afraid I'm getting old now and I've got to wear glasses. I'm sure it comes to us all. And welcome, first of all, to our visitors here to the Usher Hall. And as the Lord Provost and as the First Citizen of Edinburgh, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome His Holiness. As you will know, he's a world-renowned spiritual master and disciple of the Dalai Lama, who visited Edinburgh, in fact, the Usher Hall, only a few weeks ago. His Holiness has studied with many renowned spiritual masters in his teens, and I was interested to find out that he obtained an advanced degree in modern science when only 17. In 1982, he established the Art of Living Foundation. In 1982, he established the Art of Living Foundation to promote self-development and health-related educational programmes, which is now active in over 140 countries throughout the world. And today he teaches internationally, and I'm particularly pleased he decided to visit Scotland and to visit us here in Edinburgh. And as I understand, it's his first visit to Scotland, and I'm sure he will come back again and again with the warm welcome he will receive. His philosophy is the dignity of human life through compassion and non-violence, recognising the interdependence of the individual and the collective quest for peace and happiness, encouraging everyone to follow their chosen religion or spiritual path while honouring that of others. He is also the co-founder of the International Association of Human Values, dedicated to worldwide humanitarian service projects. And he's been the guest speaker at the United Nations, European Parliament, World Economic Forum, opening of the Museum on World Religions, and many meetings throughout the world. While he's been here in Scotland, His Holiness has had time for reflection at the Scottish Parliament, has educational events with children and teachers from schools across Edinburgh and Glasgow. He's addressed students and staff at the University of Edinburgh, public talks in Glasgow and here in the Usher Hall. Also, he's been meeting with prison authorities, staff and inmates at the Edinburgh Saughton Prison. As you can see, it's a very busy schedule, and as we were having a chat out the back, his schedule is certainly busier than mine, and he's certainly been on many, many more aeroplanes than me over the last number of weeks. So I'm very pleased that with his busy schedule, he's been able to come here this night, and I welcome you most warmly on behalf of the Edinburgh people, and I hope they enjoy the night, as it's called, Love Moves the World. Thank you.
As part of our preparation for hearing His Holiness, I'm going to take some time to listen to some sacred chants and songs from ancient times by the Art of Living Foundation. It's believed that the ancient sounds have a deeper connection to our minds.
Lambodara No, it's okay. That was good, no? Music just makes our mind dissolve. How are you all today? You want me to talk now? Yes? To discuss something very dear to us, dear to our hearts, we need to be in a cordial and informal atmosphere. Do you all feel at home? Everyone here? A formal environment is not congenial to discuss matters of spirituality, matters that are very dear to us. I think I don't need a mic. Is this? I'll do with this. So, do you all feel at home? In day-to-day affairs, we say sorry so many times, thank you so many times. Someone offers you a glass of water, you say thank you. Sometimes you step in somebody's shoes or something happens, you say sorry. You really don't mean it. Do you see that? Many of the words that we use, pleasantries we use in day-to-day life, are just courtesies. They are just etiquettes, but they don't really carry the meaning of it, more often, isn't it? But if we live in that superficial level, life becomes so dry, we miss something. When you get off the plane, the air hostess greet you saying, "Have a nice day." They don't mean it. The same words when it comes to you from your grandmother, your close friend, your spouse or your children, it carries some presence with it. It is this presence that makes our life so beautiful. So why not we take a couple of minutes and greet the person sitting next to us or in front of us. Just turn around and greet them. Okay. Okay, now you tell me, did you really greet the person or was it a formality? Have you noticed when you are happy, you have a sense that you are expanding. There is something in you that is expanding. Have you all had this experience? When you are happy, when someone pours you with compliments, what do you feel? How do you feel? Something is expanding. And someone blames you. What is the sensation you get? something being crushed. There is something in you that is contracting and that expands. What is this something that contracts and expands? We have not taken a look at it. There is something in us, the consciousness you call mind, you don't know what it is. Let us go from there. We don't know. We should always go from what we don't know to what we know. Think we don't know this, then we can know it, isn't it? Something in us that expands, that contracts. And we are puppet in anybody's hand. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can press a button and we go boom. And then they press another button, we go. This is what is lack of freedom in life. Do we want to be football of someone's opinion? Is there fun in being someone's football or a machine? No. We want independence. We want to have a say over our emotion. We want to have control over the way we feel. Don't we all? That is real freedom. Real freedom is when you become free from the stimuli and your mind is in control. You want to feel good, you can feel good anytime. The weather cannot make you feel bad, people cannot make you feel bad, then you can make yourself feel happy or bad whenever you want or not. And this is what the humankind is trying to achieve. See, many times we may not show our emotions. Inside we are so tensed and angry. A guest comes, we put on a smile. But if that guest is sensitive, he can figure it out. He can say that. This man is not too happy to welcome me, still is welcoming. Correct? We convey more through our presence than through the words. You may say, I love you so much, but inside you are uptight, stressed, angry, agitated. What gets across or what gets conveyed is that frustration, not that I love you word. Not that sentence which says, I love you. Just look at a baby. When a baby looks at you, it looks from its whole being. As though the love is oozing from every particle of the baby, the whole body of the baby. When a baby gets angry, it gets 100% angry. Have you seen it, Church? Really? Whole body becomes red. We don't do anything 100%. We do a little 50-50 anger, 50-50 love, 50-50 this. So there seems to be something lacking. What is that something that's lacking? Understanding this is spirituality. We are made up of matter and spirit. Matter is carbohydrate, protein, all that, our body. The spirit is made up of love, joy, compassion, awareness, intelligence. Attending this, and they are very well wedded. There is no separation between them. You need to address both aspects. So I would say there are 7 layers to our life that we need to attend. Body, breath. Are you all breathing? Obviously, yes, I hope. Tell me, what is the first thing we did when coming to this planet? We cried? No, we first took a deep breath and then we started crying. You know the last thing we would be doing on the planet? We breathe out and make others cry. And if you don't make others cry, you have not lived a good life. If people are happy that you are gone, I tell you, you have not lived well. Last thing in our life, we breathe out. And the whole life we are breathing in and out, but we have not attended to the breath. Few minutes of attention, breath definitely deserves. And when we give that attention to breath, our body becomes stronger, mind becomes clearer, intellect becomes sharper, memory becomes free from trauma, and our spirit becomes full of enthusiasm, full of love. The breath, the second layer of our existence. Are you all listening to me? Yes. Everybody? Yes. How are you listening? Through ears. What is it that is listening through ears? That's the mind. Our perception, observation, expression happens through that faculty of consciousness we call mind. Are you agreeing with me? Are you aware you are saying yes? Are you disagreeing with me? Are you aware you are disagreeing with me? What is that some faculty in you that is agreeing and that is disagreeing? That is intellect. As soon as you hear me, you say yes, yes, and say no, say yes, no. That's something that says yes and no, our intellect. And then the ego. We think we are somebody. And often we get stuck being that somebody. You know, we all play many roles in life. Don't you all play many roles? Huh? You play many roles. You are father to somebody, brother to somebody, or mother to someone, sister to someone else, daughter to someone else, friend to someone, you are patient to your doctor, you are customer when you go shopping. If you are a shopkeeper, or if you are an employer, or you can be an employee somewhere, we have so many roles in our life that we play. Getting stuck to any of those roles is that function of ego. You know, when someone identifies oneself belonging to a particular religion and gets stuck there, it's okay to identify oneself to a particular religion, but getting stuck there, he feels the others do not anyway belong to him or her. Suppose one takes a position, I am a Muslim. Those non-Muslims no longer belong to me. To protect this identity, I am a Muslim, or I am a Christian, or I am a Protestant, or I am a Hindu, or I am a Buddhist, or I am a Taoist. One is ready to give up their life. This is what is happening in the world today. Most of the problem is ego clash. Religions don't teach intolerance. They don't teach hatred. It is, my religion is great. You know why? Because it is my religion. Jesus is great. You know why? Because I am a Christian. So Jesus is great. You know, a Buddhist claiming Buddha's teachings are great is nothing big because there can be an element of ego. But a Christian appreciating Buddha's teaching has much more meaning. Similarly, a Buddhist appreciating Muhammad's teaching is much more valid than an Islamist claiming Muhammad's teaching is the supreme in the world. Are you with me? Huh? Ego is something is good because it is mine, not because what it is. It's okay to have ego, but it should be in its place. We should not get stuck in the ego. That's when the problem arises. It's good to have self-pride, but pride beyond a certain limit, putting everybody else down, causes tears. Not tears of joy, tears of misery. Then there is something, then the memory. If you observe the nature of our memory, it often sticks to something that is negative. If you are given 10 compliments and 1 insult, what would you hold on to? Tell me. Huh? Yeah. 10 compliments, we just let go. 1 insult, we hold and we say, I am never going to forget this. All my life. Don't forget who is at loss. Someone made a comment, they made a comment, they went away. But you holding on to that bad memory make your own life miserable. Isn't it? Isn't that so? Huh? Nature of memory, you cling on to negative, or you are angry about the past or anxious about the future. Is there any use being angry about the past? Huh? Suppose a flower vase falls and it gets broken. Being angry because this vase broke, does it make the vase come back? This is what we do. We are angry about the past, or we are anxious about the future. In either case, we create toxins in our system, we make our mind a mess, and life becomes full of misery for oneself and for others. Meditation or breathing, yoga, the purpose of it is to reverse this attitude of the mind. Bring the mind to the present moment. Are you all here now? Everybody? Present moment? Now. Let go the past and be in the moment. Is the secret to bring the mind to its place. Then there is something in us, as we discussed earlier, that expands and contracts. There is something in us that doesn't change at all. Everything changes. Our bodies change, our body undergoes change, our mind changes, our thoughts change, emotions change, our ideas, opinion change, our friends change, and people around us, their opinion about us and our opinion about them changes. But something that doesn't change at all. What is this something? That I would call as the self. All that you need to do is to sit back and one day, all by yourself, and see everything is changing. Everything is changing. And you come to a place that something is not changing. Going deep into that something which is not changing is meditation. How to achieve this? There are 4 different types of energy we have to look into. First is food. Right amount of food. If you eat too much food, you get tired. If you don't eat at all, you get tired. So right amount of food. The science of Ayurveda says, if you hold your palm together, what's the amount of food you can hold there? That's the right amount of food at one time that you can consume. Now don't ask me if there is no upper limit. The second important source of energy, twice or thrice you can have food like that. Okay. The second important type of energy we all need is sleep. Here again, if you sleep for 10 hours on a holiday, on a Sunday or a Saturday, when you get up, you don't feel good at all. You feel even more tired, sometimes even worse. What do you call it? Hangover? Huh? I feel like it's a hangover. Sleep again, 6 to 8 hours, not more, not less. But if you are a good meditator, you can manage with 3-4 hours of sleep. For that, you need to meditate at least an hour morning. Half an hour to 1 hour, good meditation per day. You can reduce the sleep to 3 hours, 4 hours. Third source of energy is breathing. Few minutes of breathing exercise you should learn. Pranayams and Sudarshan Kriya. That they energize your body and keeps your spirit high. Don't miss it. Definitely everyone should learn. It's like today, you can't function if you don't know how to operate computers. Today you can't function in the world if you don't know how to drive. It's a handicap. Similarly, if you don't know about your breath and don't learn about breathing exercise, I tell you, you become a handicap. Because you don't know how to handle the emotion. When you feel negative feelings, you don't know what to do with it. Because neither in school nor at home anyone teaches us how to handle our negative emotions. So breathing exercises, breathing techniques, Sudarshan Kriya, Pranayams, they all come handy to handle our inside. Third important source of energy. The fourth type of energy is a meditative mind, peaceful mind. Few minutes of peaceful mind gives us so much energy. You know, doctors say, psychologists and psychiatrists, physicists, they all say, if you think negative for 1 hour, you are consuming energy which is equivalent to 8 hours of hard labor. Suppose on a Sunday or a holiday, you just sit and just talk negative for 1 hour and see at the end of that 1 hour you feel so exhausted. How many of you have this experience? How many of you have this feeling? I'm sure everybody. If you have not, you can try next Sunday. Just sit and just complain. Complain about everything. You know. You feel so drained. Imagine if you have complained for 5 hours, you have consumed the energy equivalent to 40 hours of hard labor. Just imagine the wear and tear it causes on your system. When we are so worn down, where is life? Where is enthusiasm? Where is love? Where is joy? Life is so depressive. Then we fall into either of this category. On one side, we are frustrated and become violent, or we can so depressed and commit suicide. It's only the spiritual awakening or meditation can take people out of these two ills that we are seeing in the world today. You know, 18th century, 19th century, in the previous century, people were much simple. Their faith was so strong. They could just sit and pray, their faith would take them along. But today, our mind has become so scientific and this rational thinking, scientific thinking. Though you impose faith in you, the faith does not dawn from inside. So you think, oh, I believe in God, but where is God? The mind goes in roller coasters. Faith doesn't happen so deep. That's where you need to use these techniques to make your make you be in touch with yourself. Once you're in touch with yourself, faith becomes a natural phenomenon. It's not a forced prayer you do. You just look at the tree, there is prayer in your heart. You look at the child smiling, your heart wells up with prayer. You look at the mountains, the rivers, whatever you see, wherever you walk, whomsoever you meet, there is certain prayerfulness, there is certain gratitude you feel, there's certain elevation in your consciousness you start experiencing. Life will not be the same. And I think it's not just the right of just a few people to experience it. I feel it's the right of every human being. Every human being, irrespective of their religion, their background, their race, their nationality, have the ability to smile, have the ability to be in touch with that spirit that we are all. What do you say? Are you all still here? Huh? We need to smile more. Do you know a baby smiles 400 times a day and an adolescent smiles only 17 times? An adult doesn't smile at all. Just turn around and see who doesn't smile. They are adults. But I would like all these adults to become children again. It's not worth being an adult at the cost of smile. What do you say? When you smile, only 4 muscles work in your face. When you frown, 72 nerves are working. Got it? Spirituality is that which puts the smile back on your face, which you have lost. Spirituality is to bring the joy and celebration in life, in people around you. See, just imagine life without love. Would you like to live a life there is no love? All that you want is love. How many people have you loved unconditionally? Can you count on the fingers? How many people have you expressed your love unconditionally? We tell people, if you listen to me, then I love you. If you love me, then I love you. If you do this, then I love you. Love is not a business. It should be like our very nature. However one is, whoever you are, however you are, I just love you. I love because I can't but love you. It's not that I'm doing a favor. Usually we love someone and then look how much I loved you. See, what did you do to me? When we love somebody, we think we are doing a favor to them and demand and ride on that love. Such love destroys, such demand destroys love. What is the reason of high rate of divorce in the society today, in the world today? Have you thought about it? I think this is the reason. Because we ride on the love. We start on demand. A couple focuses on each other and then they fight. Too much focus on each other without a particular goal in life makes life miserable. Because one starts policing each other then. So if we have a goal in life, we do some service, then both will go, both are focused on service, on spiritual growth. Life becomes smooth and more beautiful. The short span we call life on this planet, 80 years, 90 years, is nothing, Half of the time we spend in sleeping. Have you thought about the time management of our own lives? Suppose you live for 80 years, 40 years of the life you spend sleeping in the bed. About 8 years, around 8 to 10 years you spend in cappuccino, in cafeteria, eating. If you are in France and Paris, a little more time maybe, you can add 6 more months. %10 of our day, per day of time we spend in eating. Breakfast, lunch, dinner and high tea, etc., etc. The same amount of time, about 8 to 10 years in our life we spend in bathrooms and toilets. The rest 15 years we spend in working and traffic jams. London, you can add 2 more years on traffic jam. If you live in London, I don't think Scotland is that bad. If you really take the time that we live our life, which I mean is being in love, being in joy, being enthusiastic, doing service, it comes to only 3-4 years. So in 80-year span of life, you have really lived only 3 years. The rest has gone in preparation to live. And most of those 3 years must be when you are young, when you are a child. We need to wake up and see, what do I want? Where am I going? How can I be useful to people around me? Are you all still here? Okay, I've said enough. Now you tell me. If you have some questions, I will talk on that.
Thank you very much, Your Holiness, for those words of wisdom. We're going to have the opportunity now to ask questions of His Holiness. They should be in your packs. There should have been the papers which you can pass down. If you want to pass them to the stewards, that would be great. Although I think we could probably take 1 or 2 questions from the front. If there were people from down here who want to speak out, that would be fine as well. Whilst we're arranging for those questions, can I just say that the Art of Living Foundation has created a book, Life, a Celebration, to commemorate this visit of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar to the UK. Celebrates the life and work of His Holiness, and it'll be available on the books and tapes counter at the exit. Whilst they're collecting the questions from those who've written them, is there anybody wishing to stand up and shout? There you go, there's a hand, there's a brave person at the front row. Shout as loud as you can, and then I'll try and translate for the folk in the back row.
Talk on coincidence.
Serendipity and coincidence.
Sometimes when we look at an instance, an event, a happening, from a limited understanding and boundary, it appears to be a coincidence. But as our purview increases, you see that it's not coincidence. So, it changes, yeah.
Yesterday you talked about desires and wishes. Can you hear me?
Yes?
How are you supposed to manage that? I was under the impression that to attain the ultimate, you're supposed to reduce your desires and not want. So how do you balance?
Yeah. How to handle the desires? When they come in the path of freedom, you are supposed to get rid of desires, but when they come, how to address them, right? No, desires, they arise, they don't take your permission to come in. If they had been taking visas and permission from you on beforehand, you would have dealt with them differently. You would have said no entry for you. But you come to know of them only when they have already come. So they trespass into your space, they come, they occupy. Then struggling to say they should not be coming is no good because they have already come. So when they have come, you need to handle them skillfully. And the skillfully is, if this desire is good for me, let it happen. And that's what you just surrender, you just offer, you just let go of them. Yeah?
Do we have another question from the floor before we take some of the written ones? Yep, here's one.
Ravi Shankar, how do you maintain your personal energy without giving it away, all your energy? And how do you sustain your energy?
How do you sustain your personal energy? By being in touch with the source, the source that is deep within you. By meditating, by doing your Sudarshan Kriya, pranayam, all that brings such bolt of energy from within you.
Your Holiness, we have a question here saying, please would you talk on self-confidence?
In life you have to assume certain things, and one such thing is self-confidence. What obstructs the self-confidence is your weaknesses, and weaknesses can be gotten over by wisdom and understanding. Yeah. Meditation will definitely help.
Okay, how do I maintain simplicity in my life? I simplify, but all the complex stuff in life just keeps coming back like weeds. I can certainly relate to that one.
See, you have already the solution. You have been doing it. See, we eat food and then we feel hungry again after 4 or 5 hours. It's like that, like weeds, these complexities come back and we need to keep clearing them. And it may take some time, you need to have patience. When you don't see the complexities as stumbling block for you rather than steps to progress.
Your Holiness, sometimes there are doubts and sometimes faith. How do we overcome our doubts?
We need to understand doubts. The doubts are always about something that's positive. Have you thought about it? When someone tells you, I love you so much, you ask them, really? But if someone tells you, I hate you, you have never gone saying, really? We doubt our capabilities, we never doubt our weaknesses. When someone asks you, are you happy? You say, well, I'm not sure. But when you are depressed, you have never said, well, I'm not sure if I'm depressed or not. We are so sure about depression, we are not sure about happiness. We are so sure about, negative emotions, anger, frustration. We are not so sure about love. We are so sure about weaknesses, we are not sure about our capabilities. So when you see that our doubt is always about something that's positive, a certain level of awareness comes up within you. And that transcends doubt. And that is what I would call as trust. So don't dismiss away doubt. Doubt as much as you can. Trust is that which withstands all the doubts. A trust which goes through the process of doubt becomes much stronger and genuine than the trust which just is lukewarm. Yeah? Trust and doubt are not enemy to each other. They are opposite, but they complement each other. But getting stuck in doubt forever is misfortune. It can be a phase that you go through and you come up with more stronger trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the people around you, and trust in the divinity. And that will dawn.
The question we have here is, you mentioned breath. Can you talk more about how we should be breathing?
I don't believe in piecemeal. You need to learn the whole thing in 6 days. To take a couple of hours each day. You can learn about different aspects of breath. It's not difficult. You can learn. And it's really worth learning about our breath. There is a lot. The first basics you can learn in 6 days. And then there are advanced programs, 3.5 days, retreat, where you can learn much more.
Which is preferable, family life or being an ascetic? Most of the ascetics say family life, but why did they become ascetics?
A real ascetic has the whole world as his family. From a limited family, asceticism is nothing but a limited family, limited responsibility to taking responsibility for everyone. Asceticism or ascetics are not one who runs away from responsibility. I would say that it's taking on the responsibility of the whole globe. And the other thing about family life comes about sex pleasure. Sex pleasure is a momentary pleasure. But when your consciousness is full of bliss, you don't need a stimuli to make you happy, blissful. So you are all the time happy. So that is a natural happening. To me, celibacy is a natural happening. It's not something you force on yourself and practice.
Could you talk on the difference, please, between knowledge and wisdom?
See, when you mention 2 words, you have already 2 meanings for those 2 words. If they were same, you would not have said knowledge and wisdom. So when you have said 2 words, you have already 2 different meanings. Do you get it? So you have already said the difference, and you can have your own definition. Words are after all words, It's we who attach meaning to them.
Why is it that when I'm with you, I have all the answers, but when I go back to routine life, I don't?
So that you don't get bored having answers all the time. You should have a variety.
How do you get unstuck from being sad or depressed in the present?
Sudarshan Kriya. Anytime you are off your mood, just 5 minutes or 10 minutes it will take. That's it. You can come back to your mood. No need of Prozacs and all the antidepressants.
How different are other saints who preach when they're compared?
I don't know. I never compare myself with anybody. And comparison itself is not really doing justice to anyone for that matter. In this planet, everything is unique. Everybody is unique. Every individual is unique. So we simply rejoice the uniqueness of everyone, isn't it? Isn't that better?
Can you talk about the movie The Matrix? I just read the questions.
If you happen to read a book called Yoga Vasishta, it's an ancient scripture. Vasishta's Yoga, Yoga Vasishta. It's published by New York Press, University of New York Press. Yoga Vasishta. I feel everyone who is interested in consciousness, want to know more about the reality, truth, should read this book. You will see matrix is nothing but many of those things have been put in the matrix, taken in the matrix. It's not a new concept what you hear in matrix. This is a very ancient concept of Vedanta, the school of Vedanta. I know. That also what is that Lion King, one movie was there, Lion King. And many things, many of the concepts of Lion King are also from Yoga Vasishta. So also the matrix. So you will understand matrix better if you read this book.
How do you overcome Maya, and how do you perceive truth?
You know the word measure, the English word measure comes from the Sanskrit root Maya. Maya means that which can be measured. So when the ancient people said the world is all Maya, they meant that everything in the world can be measured. But what cannot be measured is truth. You cannot say someone has 10 ounces of truth or 20 ounces of beauty or 2 pounds of love. So what is that cannot be measured? Love, beauty, truth. These are called truth. These are above Maya. They are called Mayavi. So Maya is the whole world. That means the whole world can be measured. That which comes within the purview of measurement and which always changes. Measurement is never the same. Whatever measures, whatever weight you find of a substance here will not be, it's not absolute. They vary in equators, they vary at poles, and they vary in the moon, or when it goes out into space. So, changes are Maya, the changeless is the self, is the truth. So, knowing Maya, you can transcend that.
So, what is truth or illusion, and is God truth or illusion?
Well, I have already answered that question.
Is life predetermined, and are we subject to karmic debt?
I would say, see the past as determined, the future as free will, and live in the present moment. The past should be viewed as destiny. Usually we do the other way around. We think the past was free will, so we think we should have done that, we regret. And the future we think is all destiny, so we become lethargic and inactive, and the present we become miserable. We need to reverse this role. Past as destiny, whatever happened had to happen, finished. Future is free will, and live in the present moment with joy.
How do you love unconditionally a young child you're trying to encourage and learn right from wrong without, as you say, give and behave, and you can have if they all the time they expect and then play up when they don't get. As a father of a 6-year-old, I'd like to know the answer to this in detail, please.
You know, sometimes we think love is just being goody-goody all the time. I don't think so. Sometimes you have to give a tough look to your children, you should. Because if you never give them a tough look or punish them sometime, you make them so weak in the future they can't take a criticism from anybody else. That may be the problem in many of the council meetings.
I'm suitably chastised. How do you know that you're fulfilling the sole purpose of your life?
What is called, there is a gut feeling, something deep inside you tells you. Right? How do you know when you are full? How do you know when you have a pain? How do you know you feel sleepy? How do you know when you are hungry? There's something tells you deep within. Learn to listen to your inside. No?
It's easy for me to come up with ideas, but I get bored very fast. It's the same with relationships as well. I feel like Claire Rayner. I get bored with things around me very fast. What am I going to do?
I better don't say anything, you will get bored with this also.
Moving rapidly on.
You know, boredom is that junction wherein you can become, where you move on to love. One common thing between love and boredom is repetition. The repetition makes either bring you boredom, or when you are in love with somebody, you write in their card love, love, love so many times. The same thing you go on saying, isn't it? So boredom simply have to flip over and become love.
I suffer from an illness which makes me think negatively. How do I get through that to be able to meditate and find faith?
I think you do pranayama and kriya. I'm sure it will help you.
Can you talk about the significance of the year 2012?
That's so far away. I feel this moment is so significant. Don't you think so? Every moment is beautiful, every moment is significant. Don't wait for 2002.
Please talk about dreams.
Wake up, wake up. There are 5 types of dreams. I wouldn't like to go into details of them now. But anyway, one is, the first type of dream is your past experiences. You relive them, reproject them. Second type of dream is a premonition, which has not yet happened. They come to you as dream. The third type of dream is your desires and fears. They come to you as dreams. And the fourth type of dream is nothing to do with you, but with the place where you are sleeping. Suppose you go and sleep in Hamburg, you may get dreams with all German in it. You go and sleep in Austria in a hotel, you would find people talking in Austrian language. So you see the faces which you have never seen before. The fourth type of dream is nothing to do with you, with the place in the consciousness around you. The fifth type of dream is a mixture of all these things. It's a mumbo jumbo mixture of, and that's what most of the dreams are. So when you are dreaming, it's better you wake up and have a cup of tea. And that's it.
Knock some time off your 40 years. If energy is not created or lost, and someone with high energy creates high energy in their surroundings, then where does energy go when someone is of low energy? And where does it come from when high, if not the environment?
Yes, the same amount of electricity goes into the fan, but the regulator you put in the number 1, 2, 3, 4, accordingly the fan rotates. That doesn't mean the energy in the fan is less or more, but its function, its manifestation is less or more. Like the same picture is coming in the television, you increase the brightness or reduce the brightness, you increase the volume or reduce the volume. It doesn't matter, it's only an exhibition of it. The energy is the same.
Please say something about Vastu. How serious should one be about this?
Yeah, Vastu is an ancient science of how the houses should be constructed according to cosmic energy and all. There are so many schools of Vastu. Don't have to worry too much about it. You can just look into a little bit about it, not too much. And best thing is meditate and sing and chant and serve. All that positive vibration will improve the Vastu of a place.
What do you mean by intuition?
The tuition that you get from inside.
How can we help ourselves stay in the present moment if we have jobs that require us to constantly plan for the moments and hours that follow?
Planning for the future is in no way contradicts you are living in the present moment. In fact, the future plans also you do only in the present. Isn't it so? So, all my years of plan, every day of mine is booked from tomorrow until April 2004 or 5. So planning for the future is not in any way contradiction. There is no contradiction to living in the moment. Huh?
Your Holiness, we've run out of written questions here, but perhaps I can just slightly abuse I was going to say position as a chair, but it's actually the mattress here, but there you go. As a politician, I have to make decisions that will make, hopefully, some people happy, but other people will not be happy, because you can never make all the people happy all the time. I've certainly discovered that. What are the things that I should do to deal with or engage with the negative emotions that will come out as a consequence of some of the decisions I have to make with some of the people who don't like those decisions? How do I engage with those emotions?
See, I would say that which is good, that which gives you long-term benefit and short-term problem is what we need to be committed to. There are two situations. One is something that gives you short-term joy and long-term problem. The second thing is that which gives you long-term joy and short-term problem. So whatever decision you make, there will be some people who will not be happy with it, who would criticize, who will be negative about it. And it is up to you to whether take in those negative criticism or just shield it off and just smile and allow it to be. You know, because suppose you are taking a very good decision for betterment of everybody. There is no way to go back on it. Some people are criticizing. All that you need to know is to allow them to express their problems, their anger, their frustrations, and not take it in and give them some time to cool down.
Your Holiness, thank you for the gift of your wisdom. Thank you for the gift of your presence. Thank you for the gift of your insight that can lead to us having our own insight. I intend to smile more, to go to Paris where they have more cappuccino, to reflect on your comments about the possibilities of congestion charging, and to take some of your wisdom and hopefully use it in the opportunities I have to make decisions and to lead worship. Your presence has been a wonderful gift to us all, and we appreciate it greatly. Thank you.